What's up? Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard to Trading Live with Bubba, and maybe a little action here. Let's get right to the board. Nvidia had earnings last night, and they were okay. The stock itself stayed within range, so the premium collapsed, which is what you would have expected. In fact, it's coming off here a little bit. Right now, we've got some potentials in maybe the NASDAQ, maybe the S&P, maybe a sale in the, not really. So we'll look here at the NASDAQ and the S&P for a potential buy signal. We'll see. We're ready to go if it should be part of it. And again, it's slow, but maybe we'll get something here. We're getting a little bit of some selling right now, so that's good. Hold on one second. Okay, and so we're waiting for a trigger to go ahead and buy. Are we buying either the NASDAQ or the S&P or both? That is up to you. Certainly, I don't, if you're uncomfortable, I don't want you over trading. And at the end of the day, you have to be disciplined, and you have to be comfortable with the risk that you're taking. So, but we do have, these are both in play. And according to my Trade Assist software, in the NASDAQ, that is a buy right now. Now I'm going to wait for a second just to see if I can get it to qualify on the way that we trade. Okay, and it looks okay. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the NASDAQ. Okay, the stop's going to be at 25,108. And let's see what else is going on here. And now the S&P is also coming into play, potentially. If you took the NASDAQ trade, you should be out of one. And stop should be at break even. S&P, stop is going to be 97.50. I'm sorry, 67.50. My apologies. I've been having dyslexic numbers all day today. Okay. And you should now be probably out of your NASDAQ with a profit. And we'll see what happens here with the S&P. You should be out of one of your S&Ps and stop at break even. Okay, so off to a good start. And let's see what else goes on here. Probably now stopped out. So 2 small trades, 2 small profits, and ready to go. Okay. Again, we could actually, if we wanted to, we could take a look at the NASDAQ again. That is still potentially qualifying. I want to wait and see if it turns a little bit, though, even though it is a potential trigger here. But we'll let it go down further. Remember, we're never in a hurry. We have to be patient with the way that we trade. When it's busy, you'll know. You'll see the difference. Right now, it's pretty quiet. So we will continue to be patient and wait. They did have some sort of a jobs number this morning, caused a little bit of action in the market. Nothing spectacular, but little something. Okay, so you can see if I show you this, the blue bar, so it's still qualifying to be a potential buy based on the trade assist, as is the S&P again. So we can look at them both if we choose, but we're going to wait this time. We took our one stab at it, and now we're going to wait and see if they actually do qualify. But you can see they're going straight down, which is, again, that's our signal. We've had 24 minutes straight or 30 minutes straight of going down. Looks like maybe the S&P may qualify here. Okay, you can take the S&P if you want with a stop at 46.50, 67.46.50. Okay, you should be out of one. Break even stop. And now they're running. Move your stop up to 67.350. Okay, but you've got a winner here. And now you got a potential trade, a potential confirmation in the NASDAQ. And let me know if you have any questions. I'm always happy to answer. You're certainly able to communicate through the chat with me. So I stopped out on the extra, on the rest of the S&P trade. Pretty good trade, though. And NASDAQ's a buy with a stop at 250.75. That got stopped out. Okay. And let's see if anything else shows up. There's still another potential buy there as well. And again, you got to decide, I don't know that this is the right market to keep firing in. So, it's a little quiet. You get a little bit of a bounce here. And unfortunately, we did have a chance to get out with a profit, but did not. So we'll see what happens here. And let it see if this turns around and triggers a little bit before we try to get involved. And not yet. Not yet. Okay, we're going to keep waiting. We're not going to force it. I promise you that. Okay. They're clobbering Bitcoin again. Jeez Louise. I said this morning in my live trading room that there was a 10% chance the markets could close lower on the day. So let's see. We've got two potentials coming, and same markets, Dow and S&P. I mean S&P and the NASDAQ. So let's see if we can get a trigger here. They get involved again. All right, so still no trigger to buy. No, let them keep going. We're not in a hurry. We can wait. That's the beauty. You get to be patient. You get to wait. You get to pick your spot. And right now, I don't think we have a spot. Although both via the trade assist are triggering, but we still wait for the confirmation. A little bit busier market, we might jump early, but right now they're just headed south. So nothing for us to do at the moment. Higher risk trade. Yeah, we're gonna let it go. I'm not even gonna call it. I'm gonna let it go. Not interested. All right. Well, now we're getting a little bit of a blow off on a 1 minute. So maybe we'll get a trigger down here now. All right. Let's see if this bar will trigger it for us. You can take the S&P if you want. Higher risk trade, 34 stop. 67.34 stop. Higher risk trade. So you may or may not want to participate. Looks like we're going to get stopped out again here. Looks like to me. Looks like they just want to head south, and that's the problem with the lack of real volume. But it's an experience. It's a trade I made. I'm going to lose money on it, and I'm out. Okay. So now we're 2-2, but the two losers were bigger than the two winners. So We're going to let these trade, and we'll take a look at the rest of the board while we're hanging out here. Apple continues to hover around that 270 level. Amazon, no real trade. Coin, again, we're already in coin. It's going to be a losing trade most likely. Again, you want to keep fighting into it right now as it continues just to plummet. I think that we'll wait and see what it looks like. Crowd, we put on the other day, nice win. Ether, holding steady. And remember, when we put these spreads on, it's not that the market doesn't have to go our way. It just can't go against us. And that's one thing you always want to remember is where you are and what you're trying to get done. Okay. Meta, nothing. Google certainly would be a seller of call spreads here. In fact, let me do that now. And these are going to be for next week for the 28th. And 302.50, 305 for $1.15. I can do that. Okay. INOQ, nothing yet. IWM, bounced as we thought. We didn't do anything official. I told you could do it daily, which it would have worked. MP, nothing for us to do. Microsoft, close. I'm going to wait. MSCR, very much like coin, just keeps going down. So we'll be patient there. Netflix, we've added, getting close to an opportunity. NNE, which we put on the other day, nice win. Nugget, we haven't done anything with. NVIDIA, nothing to do. Palantir, you could have sold calls, we did not. QBTS, we did, and it's profitable. Nothing to do now. Qs, nothing to do now. SMCI, nothing to do now. SPY, again, this was like the others. We said you could sell put spreads for those daily, and they've worked constantly. XYZ, we did this the other day, popping nicely. Tesla, we did this, that's popping nicely. So we're in pretty good shape overall. Okay. In the meantime, there's not much going on here that I'm really overly excited to get involved with. We're the lack of real action, the lack of real participation makes it more of a challenge. So we want to be careful and wait. It looks like did the NASDAQ just go below yesterday's close? That'd be pretty bearish if it did. NASDAQ. It's pretty close. It's right in that neighborhood. If it goes much lower, it could end up lower on the day. Okay. So we really have nothing to do. We'll lick our wounds, take our little loss on our futures trading. We were 2-2, but the two losers were bigger than the two winners. Our open trades are in good shape. And have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. Remember, I do the market 120 every day. Give you an idea what's going on. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you, and have a great weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.